So, the scientific revolution and the Renaissance period. Europe produced scientific revolution during 14th to 16th period AD. During 14th to 16th period AD, that Europe produced that scientific revolution that started like in between this period. So this revolution was not just change the material life but also change the people idea about nature and society. It changes the people idea not only about material life but also the people's idea about nature and society. So the history of science is an interrelation between science, society, polity, economy and culture. Science does not develop independent of society, rather than it develops in response to human needs. Science, like, just try to understand this thing, like science does not develop as a independent of society. Science never develops. Science never, we should not say never, but science does not develop independent of society, rather than it develops in response to human needs. So until and unless there is a human need, there will not be any development. Like suppose if you want a vaccine of coronavirus, first coronavirus has to come and people should be infected by that, then human will know that such type of virus is there, so that we can develop vaccine for this kind of virus. So the point is like, rather than developing the response of human needs, then only science will develop. Just try to understand this point. Need is the necessity for development of science. Apart from influencing the physical and material life of society, science is intimately connected with ideas. The general intellectual atmosphere existing in society influences the development of science. Just think like the general intellectual, whatever the radical ideas are there, whatever the empirical thoughts are there, that will lead the development of science. Similarly, new development in science can change the attitude and beliefs in the areas as well. The development of science will change the attitude and behavior of the society. And as this behavior changes, the sociology will emerge. So the emergence of sociology in Europe owes a great deal to the ideas and discoveries contributed by science. The emergence of sociology in Europe owes a great deal to the ideas and discoveries contributed to science. So that's why we are telling like the science will have a great role in the emergence of sociology. So there was some restriction in development of science. What was the restriction? Religion was the main restriction. Like medieval society was influenced by feudal system. The church was the epicenter of power, authority and learning. Whatever the church used to say, that was the main idea for that was the knowledge for them, whether it is a logical idea, whether it is a logical thing, whether it is a empirical thing or not, people have to accept because it is said by church. So church used to say that earth is at center and all the planets revolve around it. So if science emerges, it will question, how can you say that earth is at center and all the planets are revolving around it? So in this scientific revolution, people started questioning the religion. That was the main issue. So as religion was restriction for them, because it was restricting them from developing, from coming into a empirical thoughts, for creating some empirical thoughts. Religion was an hurdle for them. Learning was mostly religious, variety, and nothing can be challenged to the, and nothing can be challenged to the beliefs of church. New now after this, because of this science, new daring ideas were coming, as the religion was not allowing to flower of such an atmosphere. So these things, creation of such atmosphere where science will emerge, enlightenment thinkers have done a great role, have created a very great role for flourishing of science in the society. You can read about my enlightenment thinkers topic in another lecture. I have uploaded it. So the Renaissance period, it saw the beginning of scientific. So what is Renaissance period? Renaissance period came in the same period. It saw the beginning of scientific revolution. Art, literature and science all flourished in this period. Scientific approach to the nature and human body was prevalent in this time. It can be observed. How can we say that scientific revolution was prevalent in this period? Scientific was in this period was observed by the paintings of that time. Where smallest details of the nature and human body was explored. So what was the painting? In the painting, it can be observed through the paintings of that time, which shows the smallest, or which shows the body parts of the human beings. At that time, dissection was happening. Dissection of human body was accepted. In this period, dissection of human body was accepted. Dissection of the human body was accepted, and doctors and physiologists directly observed how the human body was constructed. The field of anatomy, the scientific structure of human and animals body, physiology, which is physiology, scientific study of how living things function, and pathology, scientific study of diseases and injuries, got benefited from through this period. A general theory of chemistry was developed, like chemical process like oxidation, reduction, distillation, amalgamation were studied at that time. So all these things were happening in the Renaissance period, which were giving a logical idea, empirical things. Now the people are starting questioning the religion. Now they are not blindly accepting all those thoughts. Vasco da Gama also discovered India in 1498, which you will read in Enlightenment Thinkers, that I have uploaded the video, you can read it. Similarly, Columbus discovered America in 1492, and it was an accidental discovery. So this year was expansion of trade and the beginning of colonialism in 1498 and 1492. Now Nicholas Copernicus came. Nicholas Copernicus is created revolutionary, which was a very important idea at this time, and he destroyed the geocentric theory. He directly put his hand in the mouth of lion, where the religion was saying that the earth is a center and all the planets revolve around it. That is one geocentric theory. Nicholas Copernicus destroyed this geocentric theory and came up with heliocentric theory. Now he is giving it as per through the science, like earth is revolving around the sun, not all the planets and sun revolving around the earth. He drastically altered the thoughts of the people and made human beings to believe that they are not at the center of universe but a small part of vast system. Natural objects became the subject of close observation and experiment. This is known as Copernican revolution. So whatever the things he destroyed, he destroyed that geocentric theory, and he came up with the heliocentric theory, and he told that now the earth is revolving around the planet, and natural objects, through this theory, natural objects became the subject of close observation and experiment. Whatever the natures are there, now the people have started observing and experimenting on them. That is, natural objects became the subject of close observation and experiment, and this is known as Copernican revolution. This is known as Copernican revolution. So now what happened after post-Renaissance development? This is the Renaissance period. So the post-Renaissance period, the work of physicists and mathematicians like Galileo Galilei, Johannes Kepler, Sir Isaac Newton revolutionized science. Various scientists came and revolutionized the science. Old ideas were getting challenged. Because of them, old ideas were getting challenged, and if it get verified and checked, then only it was getting accepted. Otherwise, some new alternatives were started to suggest. Thus, scientific method came to be regarded as the most accurate and the most objective. Objective means through reality, like you have to get proof. So now they are looking as an objectivity through objective to the nature, and now they are thinking as a logical manner. They are not living in a life of virtual that does not exist at all. Now they are thinking in a logical manner.